Hola y bienvenidos a la unidad 12R, lección 2C, hacer y las expresiones del clima. ¿Qué necesitas? Necesitas tu paquete de nivel 2 y 3, probablemente unas fichas para hacer flashcards. Es una actividad pareja opcional. Learning target, I can describe basic weather events using the verb hacer, such as it is hot, it's sunny, it's cold, etc. El verbo de hoy es llover, to rain. Y la cita dice, todo el mundo quiere felicidad. Nadie quiere angustia, pero no puedo hacer arcoíris sin un poco de lluvia. So everybody wants happiness. Nobody wants anguish, but you can't have a rainbow without a little rain. Okay, this activity, we are again in the packet of time, days, weather, seasons. If you've lost your resource sheet or are at home, you can find this through our Spanish Student Virtual Resource Binder with this link. Again, remember, we are working on Unit 2, the to be verbs. There are 5 verbs that it takes to express the one word verb to be from English. Yesterday, or on the last lesson, we worked with the verb haber. I, right? I, seis estudiantes, por ejemplo. Today, we're going to focus on the verb hacer, which is used to talk about the weather. Hacer really means to make or to do. So this is a common verb that we'll be learning a little bit in the future. And we use it all the time. But when it's being used as a to be verb, it is specifically used to talk about the weather. Accordingly, when we use it as the to be verb, we're always going to only use it in the third person singular. So that conjugation highlighted down here in the bottom left in purple is hace. Repeat, hace. Remember the H does not make any noise in Spanish. Hace. So for example, hace sol. It is sunny. Literally, that means it makes sun. But that sounds funny in English, right? We would never translate it as that. We would use the verb to be. It is sunny. Hace frío. It is cold. In your packet, you have a worksheet that I have broken down into several sections here. At the top of the worksheet, it has this header with some of these questions. So there's several ways to ask about the weather. We can say, ¿Qué tiempo hace? What kind of weather is it making, literally? But we would say, what's the weather like? ¿Qué clima hace? So that word's a little easier to remember. It's a cognate, clima, climate. ¿Cómo está el clima hoy? ¿Cómo está el tiempo? ¿Cómo está el clima o tiempo en, and then Chicago, for example? ¿Cómo está el clima en Mexico? So these two words, el clima and el tiempo, they're interchangeable, right? They both mean the weather. El clima can also more specifically mean the climate. El tiempo can also mean time when we are speaking about time in a general sense. For example, no tengo mucho tiempo. I don't have a lot of time. We're talking about time as a generic concept. But if we are talking about time as in what time is it, then we use the word la hora, the hour. For example, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? What hour is it, literally? We're going to learn about talking about time in an upcoming lesson in this unit. So for now, just understand that you can use el clima or el tiempo, and both mean the weather. All right, so let's take a look at all these different expressions on the sheet. There are tons and tons of ways to talk about the weather in Spanish. The ones that I require that you know are in the left-hand column under hace, from the verb hacer. You need to know hace frío, it's cold. Hace mucho frío, it's very cold. Hace calor, it's hot. If we wanted to say it's very hot, hace mucho calor. Hace sol, hace fresco, it's brisk, it's cool, right? It looks like the word fresh. Hace viento, it's windy. That's one for sure for Chicago, right? It's always windy here. Hace buen tiempo, it's good weather, just a general, oh, what's it like outside today? Oh, it's a pretty good day. Hace buen tiempo. Or hace mal tiempo, it's bad weather out. So you need to know these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 expressions you must memorize. Make flashcards for them if you need to. You also need to know these 4 that are under verbs. So some weather events have their own verb. Llueve, it is raining. Llovizna, it is drizzling. Nieva, it is snowing. And truena, it is thundering. So you need to know those 4. The rest of the items on your sheet are extra. So it's fantastic if you can get them memorized. But especially for you Spanish 1 folks, this is a lot to take on right at the beginning. So know the left-hand column and these 4 verbs. If you can get all these extra ones, it's wonderful. So I'm going to go over them just real quickly. So we have some weather expressions that use the verb estar, which is coming up in our to be unit. Está nublado, it's cloudy. Está lluvioso, it's raining. Oh, look, a different way to say it's raining. So the most common way is to use the verb. That's the one I require you to know, llueve, but there's other ways. Está oscuro, it's dark. And then we have a bunch of phrases with our verb haber that we learned in the last lesson. Hay nubes, there are clouds, literally, but that sounds funny in English. We would say it's cloudy. Hay niebla, it's foggy. Hay humedad, it's humid. Hay neblina, it's misty. Hay lloviznas, it's sprinkling. Hay lluvias torrenciales, it's pouring, right? Cats and dogs, as we say in English. Hay granizo, it's hailing. Hay relámpagos, lightning, relámpagos. Hay un vendaval, there's a windstorm. Hay sol, the sun is shining. Hay luna, the moon is shining. Right? So you can say that, see, there's lots and lots of variables. So again, left-hand column required, plus these 4 verbs. Everything else, extra. Okay, so now that we've got our learning, we are going to complete an activity. So you are going to go on an internet search and find 3 different Spanish-speaking capitals. So 3 different countries, find their capitals, and look up the weather forecast for today for those capitals. You just need a one-day weather forecast, not a multi-day. Just what is the weather for today in the capital that you are picking. You're going to screenshot that weather forecast into a slideshow, put one weather forecast on each slide, and then you're going to go to vocaroo.com and record yourself giving the forecast for each city. When you're done recording, link the voice note into the header of your presentation or somewhere in your presentation, and then have me check it when you're done. So on the right here, I've given you some help. It'll be helpful for you. You can make a script here. So frases útiles, useful phrases, bosquejo, outline. So you could do, in Madrid, hoy será buen tiempo. It's going to be good weather. Or mal tiempo, bad weather. Por la mañana, in the morning, tendremos, we will have, una temperatura de blank grados. So what's the temperature going to be? Y Lluvia, for example, it's going to be raining. Por la tarde tendremos una temperatura de 15 grados y hace sol. Por la noche tendremos una temperatura de 60 grados y hace fresco. Right? So you can just use this. You're filling in, inserting the weather comments with what the weather is from your learning. Excuse me. Remember to make flashcards of vocab that you don't already know, and then move on to your next lesson.